Welcome back to SourceFed, I'm Steve Zaragoza. The stars are now a bit dimmer as the legendary musical artist and genre-bending pioneer David Bowie has died at age 69. Bowie secretly battled with cancer for years. It comes as a massive shock to fans and industry insiders once it was confirmed. A statement was released last night on official David Bowie social media accounts saying, David Bowie died peacefully today surrounded by his family after a courageous 18-month battle with cancer. While many of you will share in this loss, we ask that you respect the family's privacy during their time of grief. When I read this news last night, it was still hoped that it was a hoax. Many tweeted that it wasn't true, but then came the official word from Bowie's son, director of the upcoming Warcraft movie, Duncan Jones, who tweeted a touching photo of his father holding him as a baby with the quote, "Very sorry and sad to say it's true. I'll be offline for a while. Love to all." The news sent shockwaves throughout the internet as fans and celebrities began expressing their frustrations, sadness, and condolences to those who were close to the man. British Prime Minister David Cameron expressed his sorrow to the press saying, "Genius is an overused word, but I think musically, creatively, artistically, David Bowie was a genius. He was a master of reinvention, and one of the things that's so incredible is almost all his reinventions were incredible successes and worked brilliantly. And so we mourn the loss of a great talent." Kanye West tweeted, "David Bowie was one of my most important inspirations. So fearless, so creative, he gave us magic for a lifetime." The Stooges frontman, also debatably legendary Iggy Pop, said, "David's friendship was the light of my life. I never met such a brilliant person. He was the best there is." Bowie's birthday was Friday, which is also when his latest and final album, Black Star, was released. It shot to #1 on the iTunes chart in the UK and #2 in the US this weekend. The influential music publication NME called it an amalgamation of warped show tunes, skronking industrial rock, soulful balladeering, airy folk pop, even hip-hop. Bowie transcended genre and brand. Since the creation of his Ziggy Stardust alt persona, he's dabbled in glam rock, prog rock, pop rock, electronic rock, the list goes on. The proof of his reach is in the numbers. He sold more than 130 million records, won countless Grammys, was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, as well as starred in many films, including my personal favorite, the cult classic Jim Henson film, Labyrinth. And because Bowie clearly influenced countless people, here are some of the hosts and crew of SourceFed with memories of David Bowie and their personal thoughts on his legacy.
When I first heard Bowie, it really affected me and changed the way that I thought about music and art.
I just think it's really cool that he was able to bring in the idea of gender fluidity and non-gender norms into the mainstream the way that he did, and that's a huge part of the culture that we have now.
He made it okay just to dance around and just be yourself, and that is the most special thing about him, is to really just be yourself.
When it comes to music, I'm actually pretty basic, but even I knew about David Bowie and was influenced by David Bowie. That's how omnipresent he was.
I'm really sad to see him go, but I'm also glad that he left this world a better place, and he did so with dignity and with love and with positivity that we don't expect of our idols anymore.
David Bowie was the man that got me to dance around in my underwear.
Ziggy Stardust and Hunky Dory before that are two of the best albums ever, ever, ever.
If anybody in the real world could embody that joke of Steve saying my time here is done and shooting up into space, it would have been David Bowie.
He's one of those super geniuses that doesn't belong here, but it was really, really nice that he paid us a visit.
David Bowie was my first love. His death was absolutely no different than his life. It was a pure work of art, and tonight, I think all of us should just dance and cry. I just want to say thank you, Mr. Bowie. Thank you, Starman. Love, the weirdo, and all of us.
David Bowie was immensely talented and effortlessly cool. He brought theatricality and art to pop music and embraced the things that made him different. He was like a badass older brother that always had your back and let you know that it was okay to be yourself. That there was a place for you somewhere, whether it be on Earth or another planet. And he let us know that changes were not only okay, but necessary. He was a voice for every generation's misfits. And when he sang, I felt like I belonged. David Bowie may have let us feel like we could be heroes for a day, but he was and will continue to be the ultimate hero. He will outlive us all. Thanks so much for the magic.
David Bowie may be gone, but his music and legacy will live on forever. Bowie made it cool to be weird and different. He was king of the misfits. He spoke to generations in song. In that way, Bowie is immortal. His art will continue to inspire millions, and he'll never be forgotten. We here at SourceFed send our condolences and love to Bowie's family and friends. David Bowie was a star man, a man who fell to earth, and a goblin king. Rest in peace, Ziggy Stardust.